Chris Biffle, Coach B. This is our March 31st webcast. Amazing show tonight. Let me get my screen adjusted and we are going to dive in to one of the most important topics in instruction, and that is, how do we teach kids the difference between shallow and deep thinking? We've got lots of people online. And let me just make a final adjustment here. And we're pretty ready to go. I'm going to slide this over just a hair. All right. So as you're watching tonight, if you have questions, please type them in. And the names in red will help you out. Here we go. Whole Brain Teaching 2.0, Shallow versus Deep Thinking, Program 573. Get ready for the biggest giveaway in WBT history, 1,100 critical thinking slides. Let me just stop there and see what my online audience thinks about a giveaway of 1,100 critical thinking slides. I've got Jeff Battle online with Andre DeShoto and Nancy Stoltenberg and Blizzard. Our Whole Brain Teaching pros, Sarah Metter needs to change her name to Red. Yes, it's incredible what we're going to do tonight. Why do we do this? Because it's teachers helping teachers. And I'll say this. The person who gave us this material never charged us for these gifts. So we can't charge anyone else. And I'll leave you to figure out what on earth Coach B is talking about. Here's my friend for tonight, JJ Jive. He's worried already. There's got to be some flaky catch. No way are you going to give away 1,100 free slides tonight. JJ Jive, I see that you're worried. Oh, Coach B, you are so right. I'm worried. JJ, just hang in there with my friend and you'll see the 1,100 slide giveaway. Now, if you haven't got the book, buy the book. Whole Brain Teaching for Challenging Kids. If you don't have challenging kids, buy it for a desperate colleague. Anybody out there using our manual, Whole Brain Teaching for Challenging Kids? Anybody using it? You know, it'd be great if you went to Amazon.com and wrote a sparkly review. We've had 101 sparkly reviews. We'd love to have a few more. All right. Here we are. We are wholebrainteaching.com, over 100,000 registered members, 4 million views on YouTube, and we're just getting started. 10 million pages downloaded. We are one of the world's most popular education websites. If you know a more popular one, don't tell us about it. We're feeling good about where we are now at the top of Mount Yucaipa. Here's Biffy Bluebird.
What if someone wants a copy of these slides or needs professional development credit?
Biffy, good to hear you.
Thanks, Coach. Good to be here.
Smarty Wonderbeak, what's the score? Easy breezy, lemon squeezy. Details are at the end of this program. Smarty, I hope that cold clears up. Oh, it's a lot better than it was yesterday, Coach. All right, Smarty. Here we are back here with Coach B. Dear colleagues, Whole Brain Teaching 2.0 is the largest upgrade in our 14-year history. Our new system provides critical thinking for every K-12 student, every subject, every ability from special ed to gifted. How? With brainy gestures and brainy words. Let me just check my online audience. Anybody out there tried out Whole Brain Teaching 2.0? I hope Giselle Cruz has, because I've been seeing some remarkable videos from her Philly kids. Giselle Cruz just earned her street name. It's Ms. Philly Swagga. Jeff Battle, you've been using it. And Giselle, it's going to get even better after tonight. And I sent you some new material tonight. Giselle, you're maybe the first person in the United States to see it outside my wife. Giselle, did you get it? Are you trembling with excitement? Jeff, wait till you see. All right, here we go. Pressing forward. Here's brainy gestures. Check it out. Notice at the top we have shallow versus deep. And then down the left-hand side, I'm just going to go over these with you right now, my friends. This is my gesture for capital letter. Capital letter. This is my gesture for period. I wonder, did my screen freeze up? Is everybody reaching me out there? I'm checking. Ah, frozen. Okay. Let's try this. And are we still frozen? All right. We unfroze. All right. So let me try. Here we are again, my friends. Let me show you the gestures. This is my gesture for capital letter. This is my gesture for period. My gesture for because clapper. My gesture for more details. My gesture for example. My gesture for also. Hands on my hips for but. Hands out for help me. Compare, contrast, related or linked to, adjective, conclusion, new paragraph, a comma, and here's the gesture for shallow and deep. I'm pushing my hands down. If you could see it, they go all the way to my waist for shallow. And thanks to Jeff Battle, this is my gesture for deep. See, deep, I'm diving in. Tonight we're going to be talking about shallow, and we're going to be talking about deep. Here's our screen. And we've shown you brainy gestures, and those are the brainy phrases. Who has tried any of these brainy gestures and brainy phrases? Tell us who you are and what do you teach? Which of these brainy phrases and gestures have you used? I'm looking online, seeing what my friends are saying. Middle school student says, Andre Dash, eat this up. Andre, wait for the end of the show. Fairy tale stories. I'll be happy to do shallow and deep gestures again. Here we go. Shallow, I'm pushing my hands way down like shallow water. Here's my hands for gesture. For deep, I'm diving in. And Jeff Battle, who I will never give credit to, thought up the deep gesture. All right. Now, let's get on with the monster giveaway. That's what you're here for. Dear colleagues, let's focus on the key critical thinking skill, deep thinking. And here's JJ Jive. Coach B and I are from Missouri. We are. And Missouri's the show me state. That's right, Coach. Show me. All right, JJ. Since you're a fellow Missourian, I will. So you put up this sign in your classroom, shallow and deep. By shallow, we mean a statement that is short and has a single idea. By deep, we mean a statement that's longer and has several ideas. You put that up in your classroom when you want to focus on shallow and deep. Now, here's some sample shallow statements. The Civil War was bad. And that's what kids say. Deep. The Civil War devastated the Southern economy, but, that's a brainy, resulted in the freeing of hundreds of thousands of slaves. So a deep statement, 2 ideas with descriptive vocabulary, facts, and a brainy. Let's look at another example so we're clear on what we mean by shallow and deep. Shallow. The answer is 14. 1 idea. Deep. The answer is 14 square feet because, there is the because clapper, taking 2 sides of the pyramid, 7 feet and 2 feet, and multiplying them together results in the product of 14 square feet. That's several ideas with core concept vocabulary and a brainy. Is my online audience digging already that we're going to help kids stop making shallow statements? I haven't gotten to how we're going to help them yet. Let's make that clear. I haven't said how we're going to help them yet. I'm just distinguishing between shallow and deep. Now, Jeff Battle, I know you said a million times, can you tell me more? Can you tell me more? Like you're pulling teeth. And Giselle, you too. We're going to show you how to help them make deep statements. All right, I feel the excitement out there. It's just getting me more excited, which I really should not do. Shallow. Spider-Man is brave. Spider-Man is amazingly brave. For example, see the big blue letters? Those are our brainies. He has no weapons and fights the most dangerous criminals. Multiple ideas and 2 brainies. Now, do you see right away that by including brainies, you're going to go from shallow to deep just by getting a brainy in there? Is everybody digging brainies? That's our brand new thing that we're just talking brainy, brainy, brainy. But I just think it's cool. Everybody with me? Brainy deep details, that's right. Giselle Cruz is diving right in. Nancy says we use college talk. Sarah Mitter's digging it, and so is Blizzard. All right. Deep brainy. Oh, I like that. All right, my friends. There's just a vibe going on that is unstoppable right now. Here we go. So characteristic is shallow. It's short. It's 1 idea, no brainies. And a deep statement is longer, 2 or more ideas, and 1 or more brainies. It's simple. This is what is crazy. Can I tell you what's crazy? Here's what's crazy. Well, let me show you this again. Here's what's crazy. It's easy to teach kids the difference between shallow and deep statements, but we don't teach them. It's way harder to teach phonics, and we're knocking ourselves out teaching phonics. We can teach them the difference between a shallow and deep statement. We need to make it part of the curriculum, and we need some cool games that teach shallow and deep. Like 1,100 cool slides that teach shallow and deep. I wonder what my online audience is saying about all this. You see how easy it is to teach them and we don't teach them? Tech teacher Deb, welcome. Bring on those slides, says Mrs. 10 grade 3 at PV. Yes. All right. It needs to start in kinder. Cruz, you're right. Cruz, ever since you become Ms. Philly Swagga, I've been noticing that you are right a little bit more often. Here we are. JJ Jive comes back. But how do I teach kids to create deep rather than shallow statements? That's what he says. JJ Jive just said that to me. JJ, relax. All right, man. I still got my doubts about those 1,100 free slides. When teaching kids to make deep statements, you must teach them the golden rule of all critical thinking. What does my online audience say? What is the golden rule of all critical thinking? I'll give you a chance and then I'll tell you, but just take a shot at it. What's the golden rule of all critical thinking? I'm taking a drink. Use because, says Andre Dash. That's a pretty good one, Andre. Evidence, says Jackie. That's a good one. Independence. Prove it, says BFin. Defend your statement. Nice try, Madeline. Students able to think for themselves. Shannon, you're heading in the right direction. Einstein triangles, yeah, that is a pretty important. Connection, says Jeff Battle. Jeff, I'm going to tell you what the golden rule is, and you're going to take back connections, which was a good shot, Jeff, but when I tell you, this is going to resonate so much with you, it'll turn your head into a bell, and it's going to resonate. All right, here's the golden rule of critical thinking. Check it out, Jeff Battle. Right there. You can always go deeper. That's the golden rule. You can always go deeper. And our kids don't realize that. Bong, 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 says Jeff Battle. That's true. Our kids get to a certain level and then they stop. You can always go deeper. So, here's JJ Jive. Yes, but how? Says JJ Jive. Check it out, my friends. And my whole brain teaching veterans are going to flip out. Long ago, in the land of the WBTers, notice it's all capitals, there arose a magical ladder. The higher you climbed, the wiser you became. The ladder was named the Genius Ladder. Give me an ah. Yes. The Genius Ladder. But check this out, my friends. Yes? But what does that have to do with deep and shallow? To give kids lots of wondrous practice building deep statements, use the reverse genius ladder. Anybody excited just with the idea of the reverse genius ladder? Reverse genius ladder. What on earth could that be? Ho, ho, ho. Yes, people are just going berserk online. I've got their attention now. I'm sorry, my friends. I see a lot of excitement, but I'm not seeing the exclamation points. So let's just postpone this whole program till next week or next month or sometime, because there's no sense in showing you the reverse genius ladder unless there was like lots of exclamation. Oh my goodness. I'm starting to see the exclamation points pouring in now. Okay. All right. Okay. I am feeling it. Here's the reverse genius ladder. Check it out. Look at this. With the reverse genius ladder, we go shallow to deep just by turning it on its head. Give me an oh sweet mama yeah. So what you put on the board, a blah sentence. It's article, noun, verb. So a blah sentence might be the giant sneezes. Then you tell your kids, put in as many different nouns as you can. The boy sneezes, the dog sneezes, the lizard sneezes. So they get lots of practice on nouns. Then you take out the verb and you say the giant, and then they get lots of practice on verbs. At the blah level, which is very, very shallow, they learn nouns and verbs. You see, we want them to get the feel for shallow, but while we want them to get the feel for shallow, we want them to learn something. Give me an oh yeah. Then you write a spicy sentence on the board. The crazy giant sneezes. You take out crazy, they turn to each other as many times as they can. They put in a synonym for crazy. But check this out, my friends. Check it out. This is our gesture for an adjective. An adjective changes or modifies a noun. So when they're putting in that adjective, they say, the crazy giant sneezes. The wild giant sneezes. You follow what I'm saying? So now they're already a little deeper. They're getting in there with an adjective, with a brainy adjective. All right. Now an extender. Article, adjective, noun, verb. Well, the crazy giant sneezes into his hat. The crazy giant sneezes. And then we want them to add, we call it an extender, we want them to add additional information. Now listen to me. The crazy giant sneezes into his hat, so that's the extender. But you know, into, that's a preposition. And when I say the crazy giant sneezes into his hat, look at me, look at me. This is my gesture for an independent clause. This is my gesture for a dependent clause. The crazy giant sneezes into his hat. The crazy giant sneezes over the telephone. Put a list of prepositions on the board and have them start making independent clauses, dependent clauses with prepositional phrases. Give me an, oh sweet mama, does it get any better? It does. Infinite gestures, Sarah Metter, you are right. So this gesture here gives us an infinite number of constructions. I don't want to say too much about that. I'll be giving away what's coming next week, but maybe you can see where this is going. Blew your slippers off, huh, Blizzard? Now, let's go back to the screen. And then when we go deeper, we want a because clapper. Article, adjective, noun, verb, blank, because. Now we've got the adjective gesture. The crazy giant sneezes because, the crazy giant sneezes into his hat because he doesn't have a handkerchief. And still deeper, include as many brainies as possible. Now if you did this exercise once a day for 10 minutes, so much will be learned. Tell me, my online audience, all the things that will be learned by doing the reverse genius ladder. And Jeff Battle, are you just digging it to the maximum of digging it? Because Jeff, it's going to get bigger and better. You know that. What are all the things people are learning from the reverse genius ladder? What are your kids learning? Tell me. I'm going to take a drink. I got to calm down. Independent, dependent clauses, I think, even without that phraseology, we can get in there at second grade. Nancy, what do you think? That's right, Jeff. Jeff Battle, you could make a reverse genius ladder with science. Jeff, did you feel the psychic vibe when I said that? Reverse genius ladder with science, from blah to spicy extender, brainy extender, etc., and just get them orally to go shallow to deep. Well, Jeff, have you done a reverse genius ladder in science yet? Because I told you about it like 5 minutes ago. Yes, Jeff, my dear friend. Andre, do you see applications for this down in Louisiana? My friends, I'm talking to my middle school friends. Andre, what do you think? Sarah, are you feeling it? Thank you, Andre. Nancy, do you think we can do, Nancy is our second grade specialist, you think we can do dependent and independent clauses? Yes. All right. It just gets more and more wonderful. I don't know how. I'm just telling you that the person who's given this isn't charging me anything because I couldn't afford it. That's why I'm giving it away. All right. So JJ says, that's cool, but lots of work for me to think up genius ladder stuff. It is a lot of work for you, JJ. I mean, you'd have to write stuff on the board every day. Check it out, my friends. Let us do the work for you. Check out the Genius Ladder PDF at wholebrainteaching.com. Over 500 shallow to deep slides. Hey now. Should we go to wholebrainteaching.com right now and show you where you can get 500 shallow to deep slides? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to New Window. I'm going to, just be patient with me. It'll be worth the wait. I'm going to wholebrainteaching.com on my new window. I'm coming over here, and up here in the corner you're going to see free ebooks. And when you go to free ebooks, you will see General, and under General you're going to see hang on, I can do this. I'm going to go to, I'm going there. Give me a second. Here we go. And I sign in. I'm going to sign in right here. I'm logging in. You can see me logging in. And now I'm going to free ebooks, General, and I'm scrolling down. There's Genius Ladder right there, my friends. And underneath that, Electronic Super Speed Grammar. Write that down. Genius Ladder and Electronic Super Speed Grammar. That's what it's all about. All right, now let me get back to where I should be. Any questions thus far on let's look at Genius Ladder. Here we go. Over 500 slides. There's the cover, and designed by Chris Rexted, Chris the Big Smooth Rexted, and they're already done. So here's a blah sentence. A fireman burped. And then a fireman verb. And then a noun burped. And then a sneaky fireman burped. Article, adjective, noun, verb. And kids are just rocking through these as you talk. Here's extender sentence. A sneaky fireman burped after eating a dozen donuts he'd stolen from the flaming bakery. Extender. And then, let's have a genius sentence. We mean a deep sentence. Add some adders. There's a genius paragraph. So samples are already done, over 500 slides, and when you get down to the advanced ones, you're going to see because and appositives. Anybody driven to near delirious joy by understanding that we're talking about appositives? Yes, my friends, appositives. All right. Here we go. Here's the next screen. There's a genius paragraph from the ultimate genius ladder. And we'll just say from now on it goes shallow to deep. Wow, that's Mondo Groovy. What else you got? JJ Jive, I'll tell you what else I've got. To build student skills in creating deep statements, try the 600 slide electronic super speed grammar. You notice I went 500, now I'm going 600 slides. These build shallow and deep thinking. Like no other. Here is a sample from Electronic Super Speed Grammar. Here's the cover. Electronic Super Speed Grammar. And this has over 617 slides in it. Now, I'm not going to go through 617 slides. But check it out. Starts with nouns. It's available at wholebrainteaching.com. And so tell your neighbor all the nouns on the farm. So it starts with nouns, then it adds verbs, then it adds prepositions, then it adds adverbs, then it adds prepositional phrases. You name it. And it ends with monster deep sentences. Here is the deep sentence. Check it out. So you look at that detailed picture, and we want you to make an article, adjective, noun, a positive, verb, adverb, prepositional phrase, conjunction, rest of the sentence. And the 617 slides teaches your kids how to do that. Anybody using electronic super speed grammar? Yes. Let me solve this for you. Look. I'm going to just focus in on the task. See, I'm looking right here at that sentence. Now this has to be about the big picture. See, here's all the things you can write about in this picture. Kids always say, I don't know what to write about. So here, I'm going to do it for you. Article, adjective, noun. The fluffy sheep, comma, standing in the corner, comma, smiles happily, that's verb, adverb, beside the farmer, that's prepositional phrase, but, that's my conjunction, doesn't get fed, that's the rest of the sentence. The fluffy sheep, comma, standing beside the farmer, comma, smiles happily in the corner, but doesn't get fed. Now, there's about 4 or 5 of these monster pictures in electronic super speed grammar. There's another one. There's a woods scene. Same huge deeps. Here is another one with dragons. Kids love dragons. And here's another one. So coming back at you, my friends. Does everybody see me and hear me? Noel, I've just gone on my own twice. All right. So, here's the deal. Electronic super speed grammar goes shallow to deep. Genius ladder, which we've already created, goes shallow to deep. So we also have incredibly ample materials that'll teach kids the difference between shallow and deep thinking. But JJ Jive says, how do I remember all this stuff? I'll tell you, JJ, you do this. You use the grade sheet. So in the left-hand column, put down the things that you want to focus on. In the right-hand column, in the left-hand column, and then you just mark how often do you use Genius Ladder? How often do you use Brainies? What Brainy do you want to practice? A detail adder, a because clapper? Keep track. Anybody using this self-grading grid? Because you need to. That's right, Loftus. You're right, Mrs. Tingrade. Karen Bear, you are so correct. It keeps you accountable to yourself, Loftus. You know, my friends, it's been an incredible night. And some of you might say, oh, here's Ms. Linenthal.
Gosh, shallow and deep sounds great, but how could I get a professional development credit for this broadcast and a copy of these slides?
Ms. Linenthal, that cold sounds off.
Oh, Coach, you should have heard me last week.
Ms. Linenthal. You're giving me a cold. Well, if you want a copy of the whole thing, all the slides from tonight, go to PayPal at wholebrainteaching.com. Put in 573, that's the code of this program. And you know what, my friends? I'm going to hang around after the program, say maybe 15, 20 minutes, and I'll just send you out right tonight, a copy of these slides. I've been a little tardy in that, but lately I've been getting better. I promise you, I'll give you 15 extra minutes. Now, there's the PayPal screen at wholebrainteaching.com, 573. You're going to get this certificate, professional development, and you'll also get this certificate. And next week, Whole Brain Teaching 2.1, Super Caduper Brainies. I warn you. I'm warning you. It may be too much for weak hearts to stand to see Whole Brain Teaching 2.1. Whole Brain Teaching 2.1, Giselle Cruz, Andre Jesh, Jeff Battle, Nancy. It may be too much for you to stand, but I don't care. I'm just going to give it to you right now. Here's a sneak preview of Whole Brain Teaching 2.1. Here is Whole Brain Teaching 2.0. Oh my goodness! What's this down here in the corner? That's a new gesture. Oh, I wonder what that gesture is for. Here's Whole Brain Teaching 2.1. First of all, note the pictures are much better. The drawings, small as they are vastly improved. Here's the original drawings. Here's 2.1. Somebody has got in there and made the drawings even groovier. Does everybody see that? Don't worry about Twitter yet, my friends. I'll give you time. You see how much better the drawings are? And Nancy, check it out. Here's the old phrases. But here's the new ones with a new color code, and all the punctuation are in blue. Give me a woo, hoo, 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 hoo. And notice we've got a gesture for quotes and a gesture for apostrophe. Why, my goodness gracious. Brainy Words 2.1. It's going to get even better, my friends. Even better. Who's ready for even better? I'm going to take another drink. I'm taking another drink. Check it out. Here it comes. Just like Coach promised. Here's even better, Giselle Cruz. Here's even better. Oh, yeah. Fancy brainy gestures and words to a whole other level with a green color code for independent clause, dependent clause, dependent independent clause, independent dependent clause, and independent clause containing a dependent clause. With an if-then, quotes, appositive, and apostrophe. That's next week. Let me show you. Watch me now. Watch me. Independent clause. See, it's all on its own. Independent clause. There's a dependent clause. Now, here's a dependent independent clause. In the woods, the deer ate berries. The deer ate berries. That's independent clause. In the woods, the deer ate berries. See, the dependent clause is supported by the independent clause. But here's another gesture. Oh, watch that. You see that? The deer ate berries in the woods. Watch this. Watch this. Watch now, watch. There goes that sneaky dependent clause in the middle of the independent clause. The deer in the woods ate berries. Ha 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 ha! Can you dig that? Should I show you the if-then gesture? Maybe it's too much for you to show you the if-then gesture, but I don't care. If you like whole brain teaching, then you like to have fun. If the scientist turns on the gas, then the fire will start. Jeff Battle, if then, is right down your alley. Andre Desch, if then, is all over. Here's quotes. Eek, eek. Here's a positive. And here's a little apostrophe. Next week, my friends. Who's going to be here next week with 100 of their best friends? Yes, Jeff Battle, if then is hypothetical reasoning. That's what we call it in philosophy. That's right, Jeff Battle, cause and effect. Yes, my friends, as I said at the beginning of the show, something's happening, and I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth. I feel like I'm looking at the future of teaching. It's overwhelming to me. We've been doing this for 14 years, and it just keeps improving. These brainy gestures and brainy words and fancy brainy gestures and fancy words, it means, and I hope you're paying attention, listen to me. It means we can do something that has never been done before. We're going to make critical thinking visual and physical. That's the future of teaching. You see, our visual cortex is one of the brain's most powerful areas. Our motor cortex is the brain's most powerful area. So instead of having kids hear about critical thinking, they'll see it and do it. We'll get the whole brain lit up. And when the whole brain's lit up, we feel happy. Then we got the limbic system, the emotions involved. It is the future, I believe, of teaching. Because now that we have this concert of brainy gestures and brainy words covering all the major parts of speech and all the parts of punctuation. Any complex thing we do with, I'm going to say this again, I'm taking off the glasses. Any complex thing that happens in language, compound complex sentence, any complex thing that happens in language, we can now make visual and physical. That's the future of teaching, my friends. And it's my privilege to share it with you, the best teachers on this planet. Who's feeling it before we go off tonight? You feeling it? Yeah. That's right, Mrs. Tingrade. Big goosebumps, me too, Madeline. All right. Now, Sarah Metter, you've got the floor. We're having an incredible tweet fest tomorrow. Sarah, talk about it. You're right, Jeff Battle. The future of teaching is us. Whole brain teaching. If you'd like a conference in Louisiana, contact Andre Deschotel. You want a conference in North or South Carolina or the East Coast, contact Jeff Battle. You want something in the Midwest, contact Sarah Metter. You want something in the Pennsylvania area, contact Giselle Cruz. Now pay attention to what Sarah is saying here. She's got the floor. Everybody else stay off for a second. We're going to do a live tweet. The master's degree program has been indefinitely postponed, I am sorry to say. Add the hashtag WBT chat. Executive board members, I'll be calling you up with news about the Whole Brain Teaching Master's program. Jeff, I'll call you tomorrow, the next day. We'll chat. Sarah, same thing. Nancy, we'll chat about it. Giselle, I'll call you. All right, my friends. I will see you next Monday. I hope that I will hear from you tweeting tomorrow. So as we always do, places and grades flow down the screen while Coach B takes another shot. Get started on this brainy stuff, my friends, and then start tweeting us tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it or not. I might drop in and surprise you. It's Washington and Charlotte, North Carolina, and Ohio and Titusville, Florida, New Jersey, Fayetteville, North Carolina, and Kentucky and Wilson, Kansas, Bakersfield, California, and Maine. More Florida, more Virginia, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Virginia. My friends, never doubt that a few people can't change the world. The world has only been changed by a few people. And please, as you've been so kind over the last months, please pray for my family. We are in the situation where we desperately need prayer. Lift us up in prayer. We thank you so much, my friends. Get involved with the Tweet Fest tomorrow, and I will see you for sure next Monday night with fancy brainy gestures and words. It's Coach B signing off, saying power to the teachers and power to the kids. Good night, my friends.